Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Bhaktavijaya153. As you may remember, Nama was very impressed with Raka's devotion. Give him a direct vision of thyself. The husband of Rukmini, hearing him say this, smiled and said, You have now had experience of Raka's mental condition. It is just as I told you. If you still have any trouble, any doubts, let me know. Nama replied, Raka, the God-loving Bhakta, is evidently without selfish desires. Even my mind cannot equal his. Nama, Hari, and Rukmini then directly appeared to him. They called Raka the potter to them and gave him this direct manifestation. Raka saw with his own eyes the four-armed Hari, the dark-complexioned one, beautiful in his yellow robe, with his crown and earrings and garland of wild flowers. Raka and Banka then embraced the god, grasping tightly his feet, and bowed to the holder of the disc, Krishna. Gaura the potter tramples his child to death. Among the Vaishnavas, those who are completely indifferent to worldly things, was the God-loving Bhakta, Gaura the potter. You Bhaktas listen with love to his extraordinary history. His property lay in the town of Tardoki by name, near Pandari. Here he has his house, his wife, and his domestic life, and at the same time he worshipped Hari. As he ate, as he walked about, as he woke up, as he rested, as he carried on his occupation as potter, he was all the time repeating the names of the Lord of Pandharpur, while listening with his ears to the stories of ordinary life, while looking at things animate and inanimate, and while realizing the working of his 10 senses. He had at the same time the thought of the Lord of the world continually, of good and evil, of joy and sorrow, praise and criticism. He thought nothing. The prince and the pauper he regarded as equal. One day, while his wife had gone for water, she left her child playing in the front yard. Gaura had raised the border of earth, and within it he had made clay. With his eyes closed, Gaura trod the clay in his ecstatic mood. Now thinking in his heart of the forma vital, tears of love flowed from his eyes. He had no recollection of his body, and became so utterly absorbed as to be identified with the invisible. While the child was playing about the yard, it came creeping along near the clay, and the ecstatic Gaura trod on it with the clay. When his wife came back bringing the water, she thought of her child. She looked about in the yard for the child, but she could not see it. She then came near to her husband and asked him about it. I went to bring water, leaving the child with you. I see the child nowhere. Tell me at once, O Lord of my heart, where is it? Looking about her, she suddenly discovered some blood. Then she noticed in the mud a collection of bones and flesh. Beating herself, she cried out in agony. She cried out to her husband, You have trodden on the child in the clay. You seem to have lost all self-consciousness. What is this awful thing you have committed? You have disregarded your worldly affairs and have devoted yourself to finding God. I mean to go at once from here and commit suicide. Listening to her harsh rebuke, he slightly regained consciousness and said to his wife, You have interrupted my contemplation without thinking what you are doing. The husband of Rukmini was sitting in my lotus heart. You confused my mind, and you drove away the Lord of Pandari. With his heart full of anger, he seized with his hands the handle of the wheel and came near to his wife in order to beat her. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.